Global abortions surpass 1.1 million in first 10 days of New Year. Whoa! Holy shit! So oh my God! Oh my motherfucking God! That's crazy. 40 million plus abortions a year. Oh my God. And considering that Argentina just recently passed abortion up until birth, so basically you could be in the delivery room and say, just stick a knife in the baby before I pop it out. I think that number's going to go way up. Oh my God. That's insane. 10 years, 400 million people. Oh my God. 20 years, 800 million. That's an entire generation of human beings that will not be born. A vast majority of them probably being eliminated in the developed Western world over a 25-year period. This is just insanity. Anybody out there wants to tell me that there is not some kind of depopulation agenda is either willfully ignorant or just full of shit. So 40 million, 40 times 75 equals 3 billion. Yeah? Wow. 3 billion people in a 75-year period. It's crazy. That is insane to me, man. I mean, when you do the math, you figure out just how many people they're actually killing. It's insane. That is insane. Anyway, before I get into the story a little more, I'd like to ask those of you out there who like and appreciate the raw, red pill nature of my content to please consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com. That is therealistphilosopher.com. And consider making a donation. I could really use your help. There's 3 ways you can donate. Number 1, Bitcoin to my Bitcoin wallet address. Number 2, to my Cash App. And number 3, Patreon, which is a per-piece platform. I make about 8 pieces a month. So you donate $1, it'd be like $8 a month. 50 cents, $4 a month. Whatever you're comfortable with donating and can afford, any amount is greatly appreciated. Anyway, so global abortions surpass 1.1 million in the first 10 days of New Year. So more than 1.1 million abortions have taken place worldwide in the first 10 days of 2021, according to the statistics provided by the World Health Organization. Using WHO data, a website called World Meter keeps a running tally of data related to everything from demographics to economics, and also provides a continuously updated total for abortions performed in the calendar year. As of this writing, the number of abortions for 2021 stands at 1,113,770. Oh my God. That's insane. And you got to realize that a lot of these abortions are late term, 7th, 8th, 9th month even. According to the WHO, there are an estimated 40 to 50 million abortions in the world yearly. Oh, God. So 50 million, you're talking about way more than 3 billion every 75 years. You're wiping out entire world populations. Oh, every lifespan of a human being. That's insane. How many of those people that have been killed in the last 50, 60 years, which is in the billions, could have been the person to cure cancer, to come up with a vaccine for AIDS, to cure the common cold, to invent life-changing innovative technology that elevates us all? Who knows? We'll never know. Which corresponds to the approximately 125,000 abortions performed each day. Each day! Oh, my God. Currently, abortion is the leading cause of death in the world. They don't care about that. We are willingly killing 42.7 million people in 2020 alone. How many did COVID kill? 1/10 of that. But we're shutting down the world for COVID. Oh, Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. Which will only increase the amount of abortions, of course, because more people will be poor, will be broke, can't afford to have the kids that they are getting pregnant with. And, of course, they believe the best way to deal with that is to get rid of the baby. Yeah, followed by heart disease, cancer, and lower respiratory disease. Wow, wow. They're so concerned with life. Yeah. Don't kill my grandmama. Oh, really? Yeah, so interesting. You're not wearing a mask. You're going to kill my grandmama. Oh, really? Wow, you care so much about a woman that's lived 90 years. But you don't care about a baby that's got their whole fucking life ahead of them, maybe 90 plus years. That's interesting reasoning, lefties. Abortions in the U.S. disproportionately target the black population, with black children aborted at more than 3 times the rate of white children. Was that Margaret Sanger broad? That Sanger broad, a rabid, racist, anti-black person? She loved abortion. We need to kill as many black people as possible. Abortion is great for that. This means that by functional standards, abortion is a deeply racist institution. But the left love it so much, and they're supposedly anti-racist, regardless of the intent of the abortion industry, which sells all the baby body parts for huge profits. According to the most recent abortion data provided in 2018 by the Centers for Disease Control, black women have the highest abortion rate in the United States, and white women have the lowest. That's very interesting. But I thought that Black Lives Matter. Well, why don't Black Lives Matter? 1/3 of black babies are being aborted. Don't Black Lives Matter? No. Doesn't fit our agenda. Blacks are therefore aborted at over 3 times the rate of whites, and more than half of all black deaths in the U.S. are the result of abortion. More than 1/3, 33.6% of all deaths by abortion in the United States in 2018 happened to black babies, even though they're only 13% of the overall population. Wow! So they're overrepresented criminally, and they're overrepresented in the killing of their babies as well. No degeneration, morality-wise, in the black community. Oh, no. They're so traditional. Yeah, right. With their thug hip-hop music that glorifies killing. Despite the fact that blacks represent just 12.3% of the population. Wow. I thought it was 13%. Margaret Sanger, I mentioned her, founder of Planned Parenthood, the largest abortion provider in the U.S., which, at least until recently, was funded by the U.S. government, might still be, was a notorious racist and eugenicist, and worked tirelessly to reduce the black population. But don't the lefties love Planned Parenthood? Apparently, they don't care so much about the racist roots of something if it serves their purposes. Tear down that Confederate statue of that evil white man who owned slaves. Oh, an evil racist who hated black people started Planned Parenthood. But that's okay, because we like Planned Parenthood. Don't tear down her statue. As part of the eugenics movement in the 1930s, Sanger thought that abortion could effectively cull inferior races from the human gene pool. Now think about that. One of the left's most beloved institutions, Planned Parenthood, was started with the sole intent of culling what were believed the inferior races, and to this day does exactly that. Sanger selected inner cities with a high concentration of minorities as the sites for her first abortion clinics, funded by the government. And still today, 79% of Planned Parenthood's abortion facilities are located in black or minority neighborhoods. Planned Parenthood's research and propaganda arm, the Guthmacher Institute, was named after former Planned Parenthood President Alan Guthmacher, interesting name, who was also vice president of the American Eugenics Society. Isn't that interesting? Sounds very Hitler-esque. Guthmacher was an and by the way, didn't Trump try to, or actually to a certain extent, defund Planned Parenthood? But he's the Nazi? So interesting. Trump's a Nazi, but he's against eugenics. I thought the Nazis liked eugenics. Huh? But the left seems to really like eugenics. Yeah. Guthmacher was an advocate of coercive population control. Imagine that. and believed that to achieve a significant reduction of the black population while avoiding accusations of racism, a word that didn't exist at the time, the involvement of the United States was indispensable. My own feeling, he said in an interview in 1970, is that we've got to pull out all the stops and involve the United Nations, which they have, which is why abortion has become so effective worldwide at culling the so-called inferior races of the world. Yeah. Which is very much reflected in the soft bigotry of low expectations that most leftists have for minority groups, except for Asians. These people who died by the tens, by the hundreds of thousands building the railroads in America, who I think were hated even more than black people. You want to talk about racism? Jesus Christ. By the left's own standards, the Chinese, good Lord, they had to face some of the worst bigotry. Even worse in a lot of cases than blacks. Now, if you got any race studies, gender studies class, now there's such a thing as Asian privilege. You had to come up with some convoluted bullshit to explain how the smallest minority in America, who has faced more racism in many cases than blacks, is doing better than everybody. Yeah, they had to get the UN involved. If you're going to curb population, more of this Malthusian bullshit, it's extremely important not to have it done by the damn Yankees, but by the UN. Because the thing is, then it's not considered genocide. White genocide, perhaps. Black genocide. Black lives matter. Apparently, white lives don't matter because, something like 135 of every 1,000 white births are aborted. Nobody seems to care about that. Nobody seems to care about the black people who are being aborted at a rate of 3 times more. If the United States goes to the black man or the yellow man, wow, what a progressive guy this guy was. Yeah. And says, slow down your reproduction rate, we were immediately suspected of having ulterior motives to keep the white man dominant in the world. If you can send in a colorful UN force, you've got much better leverage, Guthmacher said. Yeah. The black man has never had any problem screwing over his own race. That's for sure. Planned Parenthood has continued to employ Guthmacher's strategy, using the United Nations to pressure nations into legalizing abortion and selecting black women as its spokespeople to conceal its blatant racism. As a 2015 Wall Street Journal article concluded, if liberal activists and their media allies are going to lecture America about the value of black lives, the staggering disparity in abortion rates ought to be part of the discussion. You would think that would be the case, but nah. So the left apparently only cares about black lives who are already radicalized ideologically to believe what they believe. And even then, not really. Because they're crying about black people killed by white cops. It was like 9 last year. Meanwhile, 8,000 black people are killed by other black people every year. I think it's something like 90% of blacks who are killed by other blacks. If they really cared about black lives, wouldn't that be the violence they'd be targeting? No, because it makes black people look bad. And it takes the focus off whitey. Oh, I see. So there you go. The left's love of abortion, how it empowers women and is such a good thing, started by a eugenicist, Nazi, racist called Margaret Sanger, who hated Blackie and wanted to eradicate him from the planet. Keep his population well under control so he don't outnumber us and take over. Lovely, lovely. So that's what you're pushing. You libtard morons, you useful idiots, that's what you're pushing. You don't know it because you're useful idiot morons, but that's what you're pushing. Population control of black people. They're a minority. Yeah, because they've been dying at a rate of 3 times more. They wouldn't be such a small minority if it wasn't for abortion. Has the black population even grown in America at all since the 1960s? No. This is why. Of course, you would think that the left wanted to empower black people. They would get rid of this pro-abortion bullshit. But of course, they think it favors them. They think it helps them. The white women, of course, they think it's somehow empowering because they were taught that in their gender studies class. It empowers me to be able to kill my own baby because now I can go out and bang every hot Chad inside and I don't have to worry about consequences. I can even let him splooge in me and I get pregnant. I'll just go get it aborted for free, yo. How about that? How empowering. Yeah. Destroys your soul, of course. And reduces your estimation of the value of life, turns you into a husk of a human being who has no respect for life. I mean, good Lord, you can kill your own baby. Boy, you're a monster. Turns you into a soulless monster who can no longer bond with another human being. Yeah, that's so empowering. Anyway, let me know what you think of these staggering numbers. 40 to 50 million abortions a year. And by the way, these are the legitimate statistics. You got to imagine that there's a lot of abortions going on that don't get put on the books. Is it possible that the real abortion number worldwide yearly could be 60, 70, 80, even 100 million a year? Is that possible? It very well could be. It could be that worldwide, the UN and their global push to depopulate could be killing 5-6 billion people every 75 years. Interesting. I wonder how many of those are whitey. A lot more than we've been led to believe. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my BitChute channel if you haven't already. BitChute.com, BITCHUTE.com /The Realist Philosopher. Follow me there. Let me know what you think in the comments. And let me know what you think. Is this empowering to women? Is abortion a great thing for the female of the species? Does it free her? Is it liberating? Is it breaking the shackles, the chains of the traditional female gender role? Or is it completely, totally destroying her soul? Let me know in the comments. And again, if you like and appreciate the raw, ripple nature of my content, please consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com. That is therealistphilosopher.com, and making a donation. I could really use your help.